I made James a mountain veggie burger, and there's some mustard and kind of phony ketchup stuff on there, and then some fried onions and some hash browns, which are sort of like French fries, and some toppings for the veggie burger. And I'm going to talk about Loki season 1, which got top of the stack against these other ones. And I was supposed to bring back the second one in the stack, the middle one, today. And but as it turned out, I had a headache, so this seat's okay. I prefer to sit on this seat, but I don't know if... Anyway, I feel too tall when I'm sitting in a normal chair. So I don't know if you can even see my head. But yeah, I had a bit of a cluster headache today of my sinus and from my eye, and so that was fun. I lost a lot of the day, but I managed to get up, and I was thinking, should I fry some onions? Is that just going to make it worse? But it worked out okay. So yeah, because we have a big bucket of onions from the A&W that's maybe about half gone now, because I keep frying them up bit by bit for James, and some of them are still frozen in the bucket even though they've been in the fridge for a number of days now. It's amazing, because it was just a solid big bucket of ice, right? So it took a long time to thaw out. Anyway, Loki season 1. This was great. I recently reviewed a superhero series, I think it was DC, with Luke Wilson as one of the in a leading role in that one, and this one has, you can see on the cover, it has his brother Owen Wilson in one of the leading roles in this one. So this is great. But you know, Disney, they've been putting out quality, and this is put out by Disney. It's Marvel Studios. Anyway. Now, one thing to be said about this Loki thing. I loved the story. I thought it was very interesting. But this whole sacred timeline and whatever, I love that. But I mean, right away I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, so is it a Loki? When you find out there's more than one Loki, various timelines or whatever, when you find that out, then I think anybody, I don't think it would just be me, but right away I was thinking, okay, so the person who's in charge is really a Loki, right? And they don't want to lose power. They have power over everything. Why would they want to lose it if they're a Loki, right? And I don't know if that's how it's going to turn out. If not, then I'll be very surprised, because it seems to make sense to me that it would be. And I can't imagine they'll come up with a better idea if it's not that way. So anyway, I love the idea of bringing the female Loki in to be super powerful in this, the one that other Lokis might want to follow or something like that. I think that's interesting, and it certainly works for times like now. Anyway, what was I going to say about this? I don't really remember. There's something kind of, honestly, this is season 1, this is 2 discs in here, but I felt like really this is just a movie that they've chopped up. They did it well, but there's too much opening, you know, ad for other, like well, it's not an ad, but it kind of is when they show all the other superheroes at the beginning and in the opening credits and whatever, and then at the end when you're seeing like who did what or whatever, the credits at the end. It's just too long. And so honestly, I felt like, and with the what happened in previous episodes or whatever at the beginning of the show to catch up. So you catch up, you make sure, oh yes, I remember that happened. It was just too long. So I felt like watching it at home as a television show on video like this, I felt like, okay, well, I'm not actually watching that much show, so I feel like this is just a chopped up movie. Now, that's maybe okay, because these superhero movies tend to be long, and honestly, there's probably a lot of people out there who are thinking, oh, I wish they'd just chop them up so that they'd be, so I could sit down and watch, 35 minutes or whatever at a time. So if that's how you're feeling, then you'll love watching this. And yeah, I look forward to seeing season 2. This was very entertaining. She came to me. So I guess with this, maybe they were thinking, we've never had a little person in a leading man romance role or whatever. So why don't we? I don't know, but he did a great job. Peter Dinklage did a great job in this as a composer, opera composer. And then Anne Hathaway did a great job as a woman who's psychiatrist, kind of nutty, and then, it's really, and yeah, Marissa Tomei did a great job as the muse, the artist muse. So, but I didn't really care for it that much. I was thinking, well, this sort of seems like a romance, but at the same time, like, it doesn't really seem so romantic drama. It seems a bit comedy, but told in a kind of dry humor. Because honestly, the operas were kind of funny. They really weren't. They didn't seem that as much artful as kind of funny, but whatever, that's okay. And the whole idea with the tugboat captain, that it didn't really feel like girl power, because Marissa Tomei, she didn't seem, even though she was the captain of the little tugboat, she didn't seem really powerful. She seemed kind of frail, she was, that was her character, really, and she did it well. But it didn't seem girl power. So that's different for what we're seeing lately with, like, what I just introduced with a lot of shows. We're seeing a lot of girl power, but didn't really see it here. And, what ends up going on with the composer's wife, with her starting out cleaning and then getting rid of clutter, which then, once it got to kitchen appliances and stuff. Anyway, and then from there, right, it was kind of comical, but told dry. So, I don't know. I don't know really how I felt about this movie. I didn't think it was really that romantic, honestly. I think they meant it to be, but I just didn't feel it. Honestly, I didn't feel that didn't feel the romance between the. I did believe the marriage between Anne Hathaway and Peter Dinklage. That seemed believable, but the romance, I didn't see that. It didn't. I didn't buy it between the characters, and they were both good actors, but I just didn't feel it. So anyway, it didn't get top, which I thought it would get top above the superhero thing, but whatever. This Pet Semetary thing was not that good, but honestly, the movies have let me down. I read the book when I was 10 years old, and it was very scary to me, and I liked it. And I shouldn't have been reading that sort of thing when I was 10. I realize that now. But, because I had nightmares and stuff. But anyway, this movie, it was too short. What was it? It says 87 minutes, but that must be including the credits because it was short. I think about an hour 20. So anyway, there's it was interesting to see David Duchovny in a movie, but it kind of made me feel like, oh man, this is all you can get. That's sad for him to see him and I mean, there were some decent actors for a horror movie in this, and it was a little more believable than some of the others. Stuff or whatever, and I guess it's kind of a prequel, if you will, to the others, but I would have liked it to be longer. Honestly, they didn't flesh this thing out nearly enough for my taste. They could have very easily made it 10 minutes longer, and it wouldn't have felt too long or anything like that. Just a little more story and a little more gory or whatever for the people who like that sort of thing. That would have been just great. But anyway, so bottom of the stack, I was very disappointed with this one. And that's about all I have to say. I expected James to have shown up while I was talking about this, but there he is. Anyway.